Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name's Alan English. I've been waiting for this oil drain valve for my mill. I got that finally Friday, yesterday actually for me. But anyways, I plan on installing this thing today and then mounting the engine and starting to work on finishing up the mill head so that hopefully this coming week I can actually start milling some wood and making sure I get everything dialed in. So without further ado, I'm going to get busy. Okay, I didn't expect that. They say they ship these engines dry. So I pulled the oil drain plug and a bunch of oil's flowing out of it. I mean, I bought oil for it because it specifically says they're shipped dry. But this will give you an example of what happens draining your oil if you don't have that valve, which I'm putting on now. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a bunch of oil on there because I got the valve on there now. So I just got to tighten her down and clean up my mess. I got that little oil spill cleaned up. Now I just got to bolt the engine in place. And then I'll just pull it flush once I get the bolts in place. And just to hand tighten them at first. And then we'll just tighten down 3 of them. One in the back has to stay loose for the battery negative cable. That's where I want to be. That'll give me room to work when it comes time. This is where I've got to put the negative battery cable to ground. So there's that one. Got this other side to still do. All right. I know you can barely see me there. All right. Ouch. So the engine's in position. The valve's on. Should not be leaking. There's a little bit of residual oil down there from earlier. Let's see here. Be nice to clean up everything and just make sure if there's a leak, I'll know if it's clean. Since I know there's oil in there, I'll just have to check the level. Hopefully they use synthetic because that's what I bought. It's hard to know. So the way this is designed is kind of slick because it comes with a tube. I don't know if I'm going to use that one or I'll buy some more, but it's just a standard little, looks like a 1/2 inch diameter tube. Be kind of nice because it goes right on the end here. Be nice to have something about twice this length so you can actually put it into a container and let it just drain out into the container. As it is right now, you can clear the edge by a couple inches. So yeah, I'll probably get something about 1 foot long that I can put into a container when I go to drain it, since it doesn't stay on there all the time anyways. certain about that. Huh. All right, so let's put this on. Thought I'd take a walk down to the creek and see how it's running. I've been watching it weekly. It's slowly but surely dwindling down with this heat. But it's the 1st of August and we still have a trickle of water coming through this thing. I don't get my drinking water from this creek because there's too many cattle around here. So I'll show you where I get my water from. I'm getting some right now, actually. I've already gotten a couple containers full. I got a couple more containers that are 5-galloners I want to fill up. Just walk up here. I have a generator here. I've got a little electric pump that I use that's actually made for a travel trailer. But yeah, the generator works good. It's got a place for a cigarette lighter hookup. And down in here I fenced, you can kind of see the fencing. There's one of my containers to the left and there's another one down here. So where that plastic is, that covers the hole that I dug in the ground. And I don't know if you can see it here. There's a pre-filter there. So I pre-filter any of the water that I get. It takes a little while for this hole to fill back up. I don't know if you can see the water down there, but it's probably just a couple inches away from the lowest point where it drains in. I'd say it's probably just got 2 inches, maybe 3 or 4. And it'd be back up to the top. And then it fills up a little more, and then I have it so it goes out like a creek out there, and it goes on down the embankment and then on down to the creek, which is, the creek's probably a good 20 feet below us. And where this spring is, I'm going to say it's between 15 and 20 feet from the surface area if I was to go up the bank. So I don't know if you can see it. There's the bank up there. So yeah, everything goes uphill from here. But it's a nice easy walk to this spring. It's worked out really well for me. I've always been able to get water from it. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Bear with me here. Check the flow and make sure she's flowing well for us. Yep, good clean water coming out there. Won't take long. Okay, today I thought I would try another one of my freeze-dried foods that I got for when I'm, stuck here in the wintertime. This is part of a 72-hour kit they gave me. So this one's creamy rice and vegetable dinner. It's supposed to feed 4 people, or 4 different times. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop that in, cook it up for lunch today, and I'll have some probably for dinner tonight too. And I'll let you know what it tastes like. I'll show you what that kind of looks like here. Of course, I've cooked other stuff here too. I wanted to have some steak today, so I did partake in cooking up a steak. I'm sure it's going to be good. It just would be, maybe it's thickened up a bit. So, it's kind of the look of it there. It gives you an idea what it's like. So, we'll see if it tastes good. I'll certainly let you know. I'm going to dish some up here. Would have been really probably good on a potato, it looks like. I mean, if you had some potatoes, those would last pretty good in cold storage. So, like me, I bought this stuff for a winter supply. And so my goal is to have something that will carry me over for the winters when I can't get out of this area. And I imagine, you know, if it's a couple feet of snow even, I probably couldn't get out of here and get into town without the snowmobile. So it's just nice to know I have this food. So let's take a look here and see how this tastes. Just curious. It's very good. Impressed. So, yeah, I got a heck of a meal here. So, I just wanted to show that. So far, everything I've gotten from 4 Patriots has been excellent. I'm pretty pleased with it. I'm not getting nothing for this. I just want to. This is what I picked out. The reason I picked it out is because they donate to the Wounded Warriors, I guess you'd call them. So I kind of like to deal with that kind of thing. So, yeah, good stuff. I'm going to sit down and eat. That saw blade on there, and then I just got a few places. The saw head's pretty much complete now. I'll just have a few places that I need to do adjustments on before I try to cut anything. Make sure everything's secure. Wear some gloves so I don't hopefully get a cut. There we go. And get her adjusted up for next time. Okay, like I said earlier, I need to adjust some things. One thing is I got to run a string and make sure these things are true. Otherwise they'll take and kick this blade right off. I got to set the tension on the blade. I got to pull the guides forward, make sure they're all set. And then there's a mark where they got to be, I think, 1/8 of an inch from the very back, so they're not rubbing all the way. And I got to adjust the gauge, the depth gauge that's for the wood. I've got to adjust and square up the log guides that are out there, and I'm going to need to get a couple more of those because this is such a long run here. I'm going to do short ones and I'll do long ones. Right now we're at this end. The start end is all the way down there. It's just that the start end's up a couple of feet from the ground. This is only up about 12 inches from the ground, so it's just easier to work on the saw head here.